You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. I just wanted to hop on here. We do have a press conference that is already happening right now as we speak. Of course, I thought it was going to be on a little bit earlier. It came on a little bit later, like I even said it in this morning's show. So we are here to take a look at this press conference. All right. This is happening right now as we speak. And we're hopefully going to get some more insight on what the heck happened here and what was found inside the home. I do have some information as well in regards to the medication that was found scattered all over the counter and around his Gene Hackman's wife as well. So we are going to be talking about that after this press conference is done. So do me a favor. We're going to be hopping right into this pretty damn quick, because I did not know that this press conference was happening right now until I sat down, started getting ready to talk to you guys about something about this medication, and suddenly it started popping off. So we're going to get into this conversation. So hit that like button down below, hit that reaction button down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my other platforms, okay? From Facebook all the way to Rumble. Show some love, okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the secondary channel, because I do have a bunch of videos coming to you guys. A lot of stuff that's revolving around the Blake Lively debacle. So we got some things to talk about over there. So make sure you're over on the secondary channel, because we got some things to talk about. It's called the Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Okay, we got some really great stuff over there. I'm telling you, I'm sure you're going to find something you're going to love right over there. Okay, guys, we got to get into this in just a quick recap, just so you guys know, if you guys are still kind of late to the party, didn't even know what was going on. Gene Hackman, legendary actor Gene Hackman, was found gone alongside his wife of many years, okay? I think it was 30 plus years, if I'm correct. And one of their dogs was found gone in their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Police are still trying to figure out what actually happened here, because they were found in various places, separate places in the house. Okay. He was found in the mudroom. His wife was found in a bathroom. Okay. With a bunch of dogs with her. Okay. In fact, one of them was found gone. One of them was found alive near her remains. And then they had 3 dogs, and then the third dog was found outside of the home. Okay. And yes, the details are extremely weird, very odd. Still trying to understand everything. Still trying to get, you see what I'm saying? Still trying to figure it all out. And I think that police are still trying to wrap their own minds around this whole situation because of how they passed away. Now, a lot of people are speculating that this could have something to do with carbon monoxide poisoning, which is a silent monster. It is a silent killer, okay? And, of course, it has taken out many, many people, many loved ones, especially elder, okay? Our loved ones who are older, okay, for sure. So, again, they said that there were no leaks. There was no carbon monoxide leaks going on in the home. That's what they have found so far. They have not ruled it out. At first, it was ruled out, but then they brought it back. They said that it's not ruled out, okay, that they're still considering the carbon monoxide as a possibility, but they still don't know. Given the fact that there were prescription pills in the area where his wife lost her life, where her remains were found, there's a lot of speculation and a lot of theories revolving around her passing and what happened here as well. I have my own theory, which we've already talked about. I'll talk about that a little bit later once we get into this press conference, okay? Because again, There's a lot of unanswered questions that hopefully they start answering in this press conference. They're a few minutes ahead, okay, because it started pretty abruptly. I think that they were supposed to be live like an hour ago, and then they just kind of randomly hopped on. So just so you guys know, we're starting from the very beginning. So I already know that there's going to be people out here saying that there's, that they already know the information, but we're watching from the very beginning. I know nothing right now. I only saw her walk up and state her name and start speaking, and I paused it, changed the title to what I was about to go and give you guys for today, and we're here live to watch it. A couple other things that were a little bit weird as well. Front door was found ajar. Front door was found open. Okay. And like I said, the wife's remains were found. Her hands and feet were very, well, they say mummified. Okay. There was mummification on her hands and feet. But of course, it just means that there was some severe decomposition going on. They were there, probably gone for weeks. No one went out to reach out to them to see what was going on. Nothing. It just seems very, very strange. And that's the other thing too. I'm wondering about security cams. If they even had any of those kind of things, you never know. Some people are old school, right? So you never know about that. But someone with a $3.8 million home, you are a legendary actor. Yeah, I can see him having some sort of security. Okay, for sure. But let us take a look at this press conference because it's happening right now. Okay. And like I said, we're starting from the beginning, so we're a few minutes behind, but it is what it is. I wanted to share this with you guys and watch it with y'all as a fam. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. Let's rock and roll.
A public information officer, media coordinator for the sheriff's office. I just wanted to come out and welcome you today. The sheriff is going to be coming out to talk, as well as two other speakers. He will be taking some questions afterwards. So if you could think of one question from each agency that you'll have to ask, because you won't be able to touch on everyone. Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Regina Ruiz, and I'm the communications director for the city of Santa Fe. And for those of you who are not from in town, I wanted to make sure I gave you the spellings and the titles for who you're going to be hearing from. We have three presenters today. It will be Sheriff Adan Mendoza, AdanMendoza, and he is the sheriff of Santa Fe County. We will also have our Santa Fe City Fire Chief, Brian Moya, BrianMoya. And we'll also have our Santa Fe City and County Film Commissioner, Jennifer Labar Tapia. Jennifer, common spelling, Labar, L-A, capital B-A-R, hyphen, Tapia, capital T-A-P-I-A. Jennifer will be speaking to the impact in the Santa Fe community, the film community, and our condolences to the family of Gene Hackman and Betsy. Fire Chief will be speaking to being the first responding agency and any determinations regarding testing the air at the home. And Sheriff Mendoza will be speaking to the investigation as the lead agency. So they will be out shortly. But again, we do ask that since there are a lot of media agencies, if you can start off with one question per agency, and then we can keep round robbing. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Did she say round robbering? Oh, come on. Don't tell me that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. Let's find out what the heck's going on. She did say round robbering, right?
Good afternoon,
Okay.
and thank you all for being here today. I'm Jennifer Labar Tapia. I'm Santa Fe Film Commissioner. Today, Santa Fe and the film industry mourn the loss of two extraordinary individuals, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arcala. Gene was not only a legendary actor whose talent shaped generations of storytelling, but he and Betsy were also longtime residents of our community, deeply woven into the fabric of Santa Fe. His talent is for generations to come with all of his storytelling. Gene's legacy in film is unparalleled, spanning decades of unforgettable performances, including some that are filmed right here in Santa Fe. His work inspired countless artists, actors, and filmmakers, and his impact will continue to be felt for generations to come. But beyond Hollywood, Gene and Betsy were our neighbors who embraced the Santa Fe lifestyle and embraced Santa Fe as their home. Their kindness, generosity, and love for this city made them more than just icons, but they were a part of our family. Our thoughts are with their loved ones and all who knew them and admired them. We join the film industry, their family, their friends, and all the people of Santa Fe in honoring their memory. Thank you.
And now Santa Fe County Sheriff Adon Mendoza will speak, along with Fire Chief Brian Moya from the Santa Fe County City Fire Department.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sheriff Adon Mendoza, Sheriff for Santa Fe, New Mexico, Santa Fe County. On Wednesday, February 26, 2025, at approximately 1:45 p.m., Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to 1425 Old Sunset Trail, where Gene Hackman, 95, and his wife Betsy Arakawa, 65, and a dog were found deceased. An individual arrived to perform maintenance on the residence, became concerned after receiving no answer, and contacted neighborhood security to conduct a welfare check. Security then checked on the residence and observed Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa on the ground unresponsive through a window and called 911. Deputies arrived and gained access to the residence, where they observed Mrs. Arakawa deceased. They continued the search of their home and located Mr. Hackman in a separate area of the residence, also deceased. A German Shepherd was also found deceased, and two other dogs who appeared healthy were located on the property. Deputies then secured the scene and notified the Criminal Investigations Division. Due to the unusual circumstances of two decedents in the residence, there was a concern for scene safety. Santa Fe City fire personnel and the New Mexico Gas Company were requested to the scene to test for carbon monoxide or other foreign elements. The scene was deemed safe, and approximately 9:30 p.m., a search warrant was issued and executed on the residence. Now, collected from the residence, from this search warrant, there were two green in color cell phones, two bottles of medication, one bottle of over-the-counter Tylenol, My Request medical records, and a 2025 monthly planner calendar. Those items were secured from the residence for evidentiary purposes. The Santa Fe Animal Control Division worked with family to ensure the safety of the two surviving dogs. Investigation personnel worked diligently throughout the night and morning to process the scene for evidence. It should be noted there were no apparent signs of foul play. In the early hours of Thursday, February 27, 2025, Mr. Hackman and Ms. Arakawa were transported to the office of the medical investigator. An autopsy was performed. Initial findings noted no external trauma to either individual. The manner and cause of death has not been determined. The official results of the autopsy and toxicology reports are pending. Just today, I spoke to Dr. Jarrell, the pathologist from the New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator. This was at 2:00 p.m. today. She advised that there were several tests that were...
What happened there? What happened there? What happened there? Oh, come on. Hold on, guys.
She advised that there were several tests that were
It just stops. Okay, that's ridiculous. The feed just went out. Hold on. I'm seeing if there's another one. That's ridiculous. The feed just straight up goes out.
How long do you think we'll have more concrete answers of what happened?
Events that happened.
2025.
Authorities then secured the scene and notified the Criminal Investigations Division.
Here we go.
Due to the unusual circumstances of two decedents in the residence, there was a concern for scene safety. Santa Fe City Fire personnel and the New Mexico Gas Company were requested to the scene to test for carbon monoxide or other foreign elements. The scene was deemed safe, and approximately 9:30 p.m., a search warrant was issued and executed on the residence. Now, collected from the residence, from this search warrant, there were 2 green in color cell phones, 2 bottles of medicine, 1 bottle of over-the-counter Tylenol,
I'm kind of repeating again, but
medical records, and a 2025 monthly planner calendar. Those items were secured from the residence for evidentiary purposes. The Santa Fe Animal Control Division worked with family to ensure the safety of the 2 surviving dogs. Investigation personnel worked diligently throughout the night and morning to process the scene for evidence. It should be noted there were no apparent signs of foul play. In the early hours of Thursday, February 27, 2025, Mr. Hackman and Ms. Arakawa were transported to the office of the medical investigator. An autopsy was performed. Initial findings noted no external trauma to either individual. The manner and cause of death has not been determined. The official results of the autopsy and toxicology reports are pending. Just today, I spoke to Dr. Jarrell, the pathologist from the New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator. This was at 2:00 p.m. today. She advised that there were several tests that were submitted to be expedited. She revealed to me the following information. Both individuals tested negative for carbon monoxide. An initial interrogation was conducted of Mr. Hackman's pacemaker. This revealed that his last event was recorded on February 17, 2025. I was advised that a more thorough investigation will be completed. That'll conclude my statement. I will take a few questions just
Hold
so
on.
everybody knows, this is an active investigation still.
Okay, let me pause that for a second. Hold on. We're gonna get into the questions, I promise you, though. I just want to make sure. First off, yes, that's very, very Laureen, you're very, very much right. They say no evidence of foul play. Okay. They're saying no evidence of foul play. They say that there's no trauma to the bodies, nothing that would indicate some sort of foul play, right? The last recorded, I guess, his pacemaker, excuse me, said the last recorded time, I guess, was February 17th, guys. February 17th. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit some time. That's damn near. Whoo! Okay. So I mean, if he was found, he was found yesterday, right? Wasn't it yesterday that he was found? Or sorry, the day before. So he was gone. They were found 9 days. Yeah, it's almost 2. Yeah. Ain't that? Yeah. Right? That's crazy. Almost 2 weeks. That's insane. No one called. No one texted. No one checked in on him. Nothing. That's weird, right? Now, that doesn't mean that it's foul play. It's suspicious, but it doesn't mean, you see what I'm saying? So it's like nine, let's just say give or take 9 to 11 days. Okay? Nine to 11 days. pretty insane and pretty heartbreaking stuff. Because no matter what, even if it was just even if it was just a day that they were not found, right? It's still terrifying and heartbreaking stuff. So there's that. February 17th. That's some time where there was no sign from them. Like I said, no phone calls, no conversations, no text messages, no emails, no smoke signals, no nothing. That's insane. Okay. They also said this too, that the initial tests came back with no carbon monoxide in their system. Obviously, they're doing a much deeper dive into it and all that. But at face value, at the very top, right? At the very first layer of all this, they said no carbon monoxide, which is very interesting. But we are going to be talking about the medication that was found in there, okay? There were some substances in there, and I'm not talking about substances like recreational. There were prescription pills that were in there. We are going to talk about that in a little bit. But this is some wild stuff. Now, again, some of y'all may be like, nah, this is still foul play. This still screams foul play. I don't know about that, okay? And you know what, iSlim? That's a damn good question. I'd want to know that too. Can you trace how long can it stay in your system, right? If you succumb to this kind of poisoning, how long does it stay in your system, right? How long does can it stay or can it dissipate over time? Because this is weeks of them being there, just sitting in there, right? You also got to remember too, the front door is ajar. The front door was open, which is weird too, right? So again, just some strange things that are going on here. Let's get into the questions, the Q&A and everything. But this is very interesting. Okay, this is very interesting. But they said first initial, yeah. So it could still be traced. Thank you so much, the classic one. All right, but again, if they said right off the bat they did testing for it, they very bare bones testing, and they said no carbon monoxide was found. That's interesting. So I think the theory that I'm thinking may be right. I know some of y'all are like, I'm still leaning on. I'm reading y'all comments, and some of y'all are going like, I don't know. I see foul play. I just see foul play. I don't think foul play. I just don't. I really don't. I think if it was foul play, I think it would have been much more vicious situation. I think he succumbed to his old age. She succumbed to her own emotions. That's what I truly believe. Through grief, she succumbed to grief. That's what I think. And then dog either ate some of those pills or was just not let out and was just stuck in that kennel or in that closet. But real quick, Bree Breezy, thank you so much for the love. This is so crazy because I live here. I'm 10 minutes from the area where they lived. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sure it's pretty crazy over there right now. Seriously. Valley Girl, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. And just like Valley Girl, hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. That'd be amazing, okay? And Tina, I got to give some love to this. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Tina. That really means the world to me. Thank you so very much. All right, guys, let's get into the Q&A, shall we? Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let me just see if I can get a better sounding thazang, because that was ridiculous. That other one was going good, and then it just cut out. For what reason, I do not know. Let me just see if there is one better. No, this is the same one that cut out on me. F it. All right, we're going to go with this, okay? Sorry, guys. The sound is just what it is, okay? So we're just going to do it live.
Oh, okay, sure, questions.
Sure. Based on what you know about the conditions of both the bodies, who do you believe died first?
That's a very hard thing to determine. Even with the assistance of OMI, we asked that question because that's a question that we want answered. That's a very hard determination to make. And I don't think even OMI could make that determination based on the initial autopsy.
Can you
Any other,
speak to his
any other
condition?
questions?
Mr. Chair, in that 2025 planner that was mentioned in the search warrant return, were there events scheduled for either member of the couple for the coming weeks?
Again, that will be part of our investigation. We will look and try to gain access to the cell phones. We'll be analyzing cell phone data, phone calls, text messages, events, photos in the cell phone to try to piece a timeline together. One of the things is in an investigation is we try to piece a timeline together, usually before the event happens, and that gives us a lot of information. But in this case, it seems like we're doing a reverse timeline. We're doing a timeline from the time of death and the autopsy and the results, and we're going to start working our way backwards. We're going to do both, and then hopefully make a determination what may have happened to both the individuals.
On that timeline,
Sasha.
When you were saying the last event on the pacemaker was February 17th, would that kind of give you a sign that's probably the day that he died, so they've been dead for about 10 days?
According to the pathologist, I think that is a very good assumption that was his last day of life.
Sheriff,
Is there any
why
surveillance,
why are the pills such important evidence? And the
I'm
pills,
sorry?
the pills,
Okay.
the finding of the pills being such important evidence, and could that have been part of the cause of death?
Well, of course, they're important evidence. These are things that I think are important for the pathologist and OMI to consider to try to make a determination what the cause and manner of death are. So all that information is collected, not just for us, but we can provide that information to the pathologist and OMI so they can try and make a determination of what the manner of cause is. And I think that's important for OMI also.
Sheriff, was there any surveillance video, and is that helping you to determine what may have led up to this?
That's a good question, and that question's been asked. So, I respect the Mr. Hackman's and Ms. Arakawa's regard for privacy. I think everybody here understands that they were very private individuals and a very private family. There is no surveillance as we know of right now in the interior of the residence or the exterior of the residence that it's going to help us determine a timeline or events that happened.
Mr.
Sheriff,
information?
Tom Manson with CBS News. Have investigators been able to get into the obtained cell phones?
Not at this time. We have them in our possession. Those were collected yesterday. It's going to take a process. We do have software, and we may have to reach out to other agencies for assistance to get past if they're password protected, to get past the passwords and gain access to that information. So this is some other things it's going to take a little bit of time.
Sheriff, is there any information on the dog?
There are names, Nikhil McClellan from the Albuquerque Journal. There are names on prescription bottles. Do we know any idea as to who was taking any of those medications?
Yeah, due to HIPAA, I don't want to release who the medication was prescribed to or what the medication is. I think that's
we got some info
concern there, so I won't release that information.
Sheriff, do you know the nature of the pills that were found by his wife? What were those pills there?
What were they?
Yeah, what
I think I just answered that question. I think I stated I'm not going to release the actual medication or who was prescribed to due to HIPAA.
Hold on. They have leaked that information out, by the way, on the pills, allegedly. So we're going to talk about that here after this press.
Question. Sir.
On the carbon monoxide part of it, does that, what the pathologist told you, does that rule out carbon monoxide, or is it possible it kind of dissipated from the body and we just weren't able to find signs of it?
I think that's a question for the pathologist. It's with that information, I'm assuming that at the time of death, that they were negative for carbon monoxide, which means to me that that is possibly ruled out. That's another conversation I think that we will have with the pathologist and OMI to make sure that that's still not indication, but it sounds like that's ruled out.
Were there any signs that Betsy was under any form of distress?
I don't have that information. Again, I didn't personally see the individuals, so there's no indication that there was any stress. There was no indication of any of that I can tell or that I can share, unfortunately.
Has foul play been ruled out?
Hold on. Anybody else? I know you've asked a question.
Sheriff, was there any significance to the space here being located near her head that detail and any more information about how the dogs died?
No, I don't think the space, now that we've ruled out carbon monoxide, unless there's something else that comes back in the toxicology report that we have to look, we're going to look at everything, right? We have photographs, we've documented everything that was close to the body in the room. Then we'll look at that a little closer. But right now, there's no indication that has any anything to do with
Hold on. Let me repeat this again. Now they have said, I mean, obviously they're going to run everything, but right now they said that he's saying carbon monoxide has been ruled out, at least for right now. So it has been ruled out, y'all. I just want to make that abundantly clear. It has been ruled out for now. Obviously, if the autopsy comes back, toxicology reports come back and they say, oh yeah, that it was all, but nothing but carbon monoxide, then that might be a different conversation, right? But for right now, carbon monoxide is off the table right now. I think that's crucial. And then again, you know, they're talking about the dog and all that too.
Were you able to determine whether they fell or not? Like, was there any trauma evidence on the bodies to suggest a fall?
No, I don't think you know, there was any indication that again, there was no trauma indicated on the body. I'm assuming if they would have fell or you know, injured themselves or a head injury or brain injury, that would have been discovered by the pathologist. So I'm going to say that they weren't.
Just to follow up, but you saw the sunglasses and cane on the floor, according to the reports. That would seem to go against that.
You know, that's up to the detective and OMI to work out.
Sheriff,
I'm gonna take 2 more questions.
On the timeline that you're talking about,
Can you say what the space heater was powered by? Was it a gas powered or electric powered space heater?
I don't know that information right off.
Do you believe the dog died of starvation?
Sir,
How long do you think we'll have more concrete answers of what happened?
again, we're waiting for the autopsy results and the toxicology. The doctor, the pathologist shared that information, which I think some tests were expedited. And so she shared that information with me because she thought it was relevant to the case and important for the public to know. I don't know. I don't know when the cause and the manner will be determined officially, or when the toxicology results come. I'm assuming that pathologist will wait for the toxicology to come back, so that'll help her make her decision of what the cause and manner is. It could be months or 3 months or longer, in my experience.
when is the last known contact with either Betsy or Jean?
Again, that's been one of our challenges because of their privacy. So one of the challenges is trying to determine that timeline. I think the event of the pacemaker gives us an idea, but we're gonna sift through the cell phone records. We're gonna go through the planner. We're contacting workers, maintenance workers, family members, security. We're gonna be talking to security. It's a secure subdivision. There's in and out that's I believe is documented. So we're working with them to try and determine you know, when the last contact was, and that'll help us put together the timeline. So thank you, everybody. I hope this answered some questions. And again, if we get more information, we will release that. I know there is concern and interest in Mr. Hackman and Mrs. Arakawa, and I just appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Okay, so hold on, just making sure there's no random thing that they bark out or ask.
Died of starvation. Thank you.
Hold on, we need to hear that piece again. What?
Thank you.
Do you believe the dog died of starvation? Thank you.
He's like, I can't answer that, which I kind of wish he could, right? But we got a couple of things we got to talk about, okay? We got a couple of things we're going to look at here. Again, they're saying carbon monoxide is off the table for now, unless toxicology and autopsy come back saying something completely different. But one thing is for sure, they were gone for almost 2 weeks, guys, which is weird. We also have an interview with one of his daughters, which is also something I find to be very interesting as well. So we're going to look at that right quick. Okay. Couple different things. First off, let's talk about what was being found on, like, in the house, right? These prescriptions. Okay. Because again, I think a lot of us are kind of curious about that as well. So let's take a look at this article here. Okay, so it says Gene Hackman, of course, Gene Hackman's investigators reveal prescriptions that they found inside the mummified actor's home alongside haunting document. Now, I don't know about this document that they're talking about. It doesn't seem like it's, it doesn't seem very sus to me or suspicious to me when it comes to whatever document that they're talking about. But what I do find interesting is that there are two different medications that were found, right? They say two different medications and a 2025 calendar were found inside Gene Hackman's home, where he passed along with his wife and dog, okay, or one of his three dogs, okay? So they found their remains. It's the thing is that they say it's Betsy's remains that were more mummified than Gene Hackman's. And I think it all has to do with the fact that her body was right next to a space heater, okay? That could dehydrate and dry things up pretty damn fast if you ask me, right? Now, amid speculation of their mysterious cause of demise, including suggestions by his family of carbon monoxide poisoning, police ordered autopsies and toxicology reports, okay? So they searched the house. They found thyroid medication and diltiazem inside. So they found thyroid medication and diltiazem inside, along with Tylenol. Now, we already know that Tylenol is over-the-counter type of stuff, right? But what's interesting is that the open bottle, okay, there was an open bottle of prescription pills that were found partially scattered on the countertop nearby. Both diltiazem and this common thyroid medication, okay, this common thyroid medication can cause someone to pass away if too much is ingested, as they interfere with heart function. But extremely few fatalities have been recorded, even when dozens were swallowed during unthinkable attempts, during attempts, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? Now, so that's one thing I'm kind of curious about. Okay, so that this diltiazem and this thyroid medication, is it a situation where they're saying, okay, few fatalities have happened because there has no one's ever thought of using that? It's never been recorded as a use of a means to an end, if you get what I'm saying, right? Or are they saying that, people try to use it and then they get saved or something like that? I don't know. Something seems a bit weird about that, right? They're taking especially it's scattered on the countertop right by her remains and all that. It's not Tylenol. It's something else that could take you out if you take a large consumption of it, right? So a part of me goes, could someone lose their life by doing that? Now, I know that some people have the theory that maybe, she saw what happened and then maybe she had a panic attack that turned into a heart attack, maybe. And then she was running into the bathroom to go get his meds or something like that, tripped, fell. But at the same time, they say that there's no trauma to the bodies, because they would say, oh, she had blunt force trauma to the head, right? They would have said something like that. But they say that there was no trauma to the remains at all that would indicate anything of that sort, right? So again, very, very interesting, right? So the police also listed 2 green phones and a 2025 monthly calendar planner and the couple's health records, but didn't go into detail what was in them, okay? So they were completed. The autopsies were completed early Thursday morning. Authorities are still waiting on the full results, along with the toxicology reports. Okay, and of course, they're doing everything they can. They said that right now nothing is indicating carbon monoxide poisoning, but at the same time, there was these prescription pills that were in the area of where Betsy Arakawa's body was found, alongside the dog that was found dead as well, right? So again, for me, I look at that and I go, sounds a lot like to me that he succumbed to something, but like I think just old age. Maybe his heart gave out. She came in, found him, and then grief took over. That's what I truly believe. Okay. That's what I literally truly believe. Grief took over. She took those pills in a frantic reaction. And then I guess you never know. She may have taken some and maybe it happened quickly. I don't know. I don't know how fast those pills work, how fast they go into effect. But the only other thing I can think of is she was frantic, getting them all out, trying to pour them all out, trying to consume them. A bunch of them fell on the ground. You know, we all have, if you are a dog owner, and if you own more than one, there's always one dog that's a little bit more greedy, a little bit more gluttonous than the other dogs. Okay. At least I have one of those. All right. And will basically eat anything. And there's a possibility that one thought, oh, food, treats, woo, ate it, and passed away in the same fashion as Betsy. Because the other two dogs, one was outside, the other one was found near her alive. And they say no carbon monoxide. And if it was carbon monoxide that took them all out, that would have taken out the other dog too, that was found sitting there in the bathroom with her, alongside the other dead dog too. So again, something is interesting. You know, something's very interesting about this. Okay. And still very, very tragic. But of course, you know, hopefully they'll get down to the bottom of it sooner rather than later. But here's the thing. This is something that's very interesting. One of his daughters breaks her silence and talks about her father. Okay. Gene Hackman's daughter speaks out. Okay. And I think that this is very, very interesting. Okay. So let's take a look at this. And again, you'd think, why wasn't there any conversations? Why weren't they reaching out to him? And I get it. Life be lifing out here in these streets, y'all, right? You're busy being a family, raising your own family, making sure you pay the bills and keep the lights on and still have your job the next day type thing. But something's so odd about this, that there was no real communication with the with Gene Hackman or even with Betsy. And maybe that's how they wanted to live their life. They just wanted to be left alone. Maybe that's what it was, right? But with your own kids, with your own family, with your own legacy, I don't know. Seems a bit weird. I'm not suggesting foul play, but I see it as a little bit tragic, right? Maybe there was a little bit of estrangement going on in the family, hence the reason why there was nobody calling to see how Gene Hackman and Betsy were doing, while they were in their last few days, right? So again, let's take a look at this. This Gene Hackman's daughter does break her silence, all right? So she's breaking her silence following his mysterious demise, okay? So we already know about all this. A neighbor called emergency vehicles or emergency services after discovering the bodies. One of their three dogs was found alive. Okay. So one of Gene's three daughters, okay, or three children, I'm sorry, Leslie Ann Hackman, all right, she told Daily Mail, the article we're reading here, on Thursday, that the family is waiting to hear from law enforcement regarding the cause of demise of the couple's situation. Okay. And of course, what happened is still, as they say, is still a mystery. It's tragic. All right. So Leslie and her sister, Elizabeth Jean Hackman, can only speculate that their father and stepmother, along with one of their dogs, may have been unalived by inhaling toxic fumes due to a carbon monoxide leak. This is one of the daughters, and I'm assuming this is the one speaking out. Yep, Leslie is the one right here, and she's the one who is speaking out and breaking her silence. Okay, one of the first family members to speak out and break their silence. So Leslie, who happens to be 58 now, said that the family is still processing what happened since, quote unquote, there was no indication that there was any problem with her father prior to his demise. Despite his age, he was in very good physical condition, she revealed, while adding that her father did not have any major surgeries these last few months. He liked to do Pilates and yoga, and he was continuing to do that several times a week. He was in good health. She went on to say that his demise, however, was, quote unquote, not terribly shocking because he was 95. Given that she lives in California, she said that it has been a few months since she had last seen and has even heard from her reclusive father, despite them being close. What? Say that again. Wait, so you close, but it's been a few months since y'all talked? Huh? That doesn't seem a little bit odd to you? Ladies and germs. Doesn't that seem a little bit odd? I'm not sitting here saying, hey, foul plays of food. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I do think it's weird that they're like, oh, we're so close. We're so close. Such the tightest of families. But, we haven't talked to each other in 4 months. Huh? Excuse me. Someone explain that to me. Let me repeat that again. Given that she lives in California, which I get it, living in different states it's a different thing. But at the same time, these are your parents. This is your daddy. He's 95 years old. Wouldn't you be keeping closer tabs on your papa? Months seems a bit extreme. To me, that sounds like estrangement. That's just me, though. So, again, given that she lives in California, she said that it's been a few months since she last seen and has even heard from her reclusive father despite them being close. That seems weird. We were close. I hadn't talked to them for a couple months, but everything was normal and everything was good, she shared. No, if you hadn't heard from, see what I'm saying? Couple months and you're sitting there saying everything is normal and everything was good. That's not normal and that's not good. If you haven't talked to them in a couple months, so a couple months ago, things were good and things were fine. But things obviously changed over those 2 months, over those couple of months. That's odd. Like I said, I don't think that that's foul play, okay? But I think that's a bit weird that there was no one keeping tabs on their 95-year-old father. Where, as she just said, she went on to say that his demise, however, was, quote unquote, not terribly shocking because he was 95. Can I just say this really quick? He's 95. So yeah, I feel like you would be a little bit more in touch, right? He's 95. Just saying. But at the same time, here it is. Got to look at the other side of the fence and put on the other shoe real quick. All right. Like I said, life be lifing. People get busy. You're out here parenting. You're out there doing your job, trying to make sure that money is, money is coming in and more of it's coming in than more of it leaving your hands. You're busy trying to make sure everything's on point and all that, right? So I get that, if it's not 6 inches in front of your face, you might get a little bit busy with other things, but that's still your parents. That's still your dad. And again, depending on the dynamics of the relationship, if it was good and fine and y'all were very close, months seems a bit far. Months it seems like a bit of a stretch of no communication. That's all. But again, like I said, I'm not the Hackman family. I don't know their dynamics and what they deem to be a close-knit family. But for me, if I hadn't talked to my family in a few months, I don't know. That's interesting. So the family is still waiting to hear from police on exactly what happened and when they passed away. Okay, and we are now starting to hear that he passed. Sounds like he passed on February 17th. So just almost 2 weeks ago. And I think she died around the same time as well. Yes, I agree. I Slim. Months is crazy. Just saying. Months is crazy. But at the same time, I can't say much because here it is. Everyone's family dynamics is different, right? Everyone's family dynamic is different. So moving on, she continues. She told Daily Mail that Gene and Betsy had a wonderful marriage. They had a wonderful marriage. And I give credit to his wife, Betsy, for keeping him alive. Betsy took very, very good care of him and was always looking out for his health. So I'm appreciative to her for that and am very saddened by her passing. Leslie said that she'd be heading to New Mexico once she hears back from police, which, by the way, I'm wondering, is she waiting for the autopsy results or is she going after this press conference, which I'm hoping she goes after this press conference, right? And I would hope all of his kids would be down there, right? We need to wait and find out whatever information from the police. We weren't expecting to have to go out there and go through the house and all that. That's what she shared. So we have some work cut out for us. But yeah, we will be going out to New Mexico. Then his nephew, Tim Hackman, also spoke. Let's see what he says. He revealed that he and his family had found out about his uncle and Betsy's demise through Leslie, who he claims was the one family member who had the most contact with Gene and Betsy. So it does kind of sound, and this is before the news broke, so it does sound like there possibly could be a little bit of an estrangement going on here. And yeah, family is family. Family dynamics can change over the years, right? You guys can be super tight and then some rift happens, right? Drama happens, but then what you hope is that family gets back to, goes back to normal, right? Goes back to contacting each other more often, so on and so forth. But yeah, this is very interesting. Tim said that he found out Wednesday night and was saddened to learn about him passing away, and that he didn't have a natural death. He says, he was old. I'm sure he had some health concerns, but nothing that was shared. He replied this is what he replied to when he was asked if his uncle, Gene Hackman, had any major health concerns. So yeah, 11 years ago was the last time I physically saw him. This is what Tim said. Okay. He was at his father's funeral. Okay. So he said the last time I saw him was 11 years ago. I'm sorry. Okay. That's the last time he physically saw him. He only came to California during the warm weathers, and then he just stayed in New Mexico. Although it's been over a decade, Mr. Hackman said that he wouldn't say that the Bonnie and Clyde star was estranged from his family. So he said that he wouldn't say that he was estranged, but it sounds like it was a tiny bit, and it could just be estrangement due to geographical estrangement, if that makes any sense. But he liked New Mexico. He loved it. It's a beautiful place. Yeah, New Mexico's nice. Okay. It's a nice area. Most of his communication to his uncle was through Betsy, who he would talk to every once in a while, since Gene was, quote unquote, at the age where he wasn't really communicative a lot, all right, with the family. He also continued, I was just basically giving her updates on my kids and how they were doing and how I was doing, because our major connection was the military background. But that was it, really. She just says, oh, Gene's doing good. I mean, he's moving around a lot for 95. Betsy was ultimately the one who, quote unquote, took care of him. I truly believe he made it as long as he did because of her. This is what the nephew said. His name's Tim again. Okay. Given Betsy and Gene's 31-year age difference, the family had prepared that the actor would pass away first and that his wife would take over funeral arrangements after this couple's shocking demise. Tim said that the plan has obviously changed. It's very, I don't know, very interesting, guys. This how it's, everything that we're hearing here, it's just very interesting. Okay. So the preparedness of it was that he would go first, and that we would probably, maybe, depending on whatever it was Betsy had set up, would go down there and pay our condolences and everything. Now with this, it significantly changes things. I have no idea what, I'm assuming one of the kids will probably take over and plan. I don't know. It's very, very early. So again, like I said, maybe them being so to themselves and living out in New Mexico could have caused a little bit of a dissonance within his kids. Sure, they're close, but maybe they're not super close due to where he lives. And of course, he was 95. So I'm sure he's not sitting there on the phone just trying to have conversations, right? Maybe he wasn't able to carry on conversations longer than a few minutes, right? So his wife would be the mediator, be the communicator, the middleman, right? And so maybe that's what it was. But it is just very interesting to see what the family, what one of the daughters was saying, and then of course saying that we're really close, but we haven't talked to him in months. That's tragic. And like I said, I don't know, and everyone's dynamics are different. Okay, everyone's dynamics are definitely different when it comes to family. But at the same time, months without conversations with your loved ones, with especially your parents, especially if they're still on this planet, it is a bit surprising, in my personal opinion. Okay. Does that mean foul play? Does it mean suspicion? No, it doesn't. Like I said, everyone's family dynamic is different. But it is kind of tragic that there was no one calling in to see how they were doing for weeks. And then they were found in this way. And you know for a fact, if they were making phone calls and nobody was picking up, somebody would have been there a lot earlier to check on them and see what was going on. So again, it's really, really sad. It is a sad situation. Again, I'm not seeing foul play with this one. There's plenty of other cases that we talk about, guys. Let's be real. There's plenty of other cases that we talk about on the regular that I'm like, yo, this screams foul play. But this one I think is not. But anything's possible. I do think that more information will come out when the autopsy comes out and the toxicology results come back. But I think it will also tell us a lot. It'll be extremely revealing when that stuff does come out. And what sucks is that we're going to have to wait several weeks for that. But what they have so far, okay, what they've found so far does lay the groundwork for a potential of someone passing, of natural causes. Maybe his heart gave out. God only knows what happened. And then, of course, his wife, which sounds like she really was a doting, loving wife that really took care of him, found him, and reacted. And reacted in the most devastating, terrible, heartbreaking kinds of way. And then, of course, one of the dogs got curious about the pills and lost their life as well. But again, like I said, if there is foul play to this, something will be revealed. But I just don't see it right now. I just don't. Which is, for me, rare. Because usually I'll be like, oh, no, there's foul play in this. You can't tell me that wasn't foul play. You kidding me? That isn't foul play? Bruh, come on. That's foul play. This one, though, something just seems a bit very to the point. It's tragic and sad, but I don't see foul play in this one, guys. I know that probably I know that this is probably like frustrating y'all, right? For those who are looking at it and going, still kind of weird. I don't know. Still feel some type of way. It is still weird. I still feel some type of way about it too. But the only thing we can do is sit back, wait, and see what else they have here, right? Insane News, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we don't have enough evidence to steer us that way. Exactly. Like there's not enough to be like, if they were like, yes, there was a shadowy figure in the background and you know what I mean? If we had some footage, surveillance footage and all that stuff, this would be a completely different conversation, right? But given the fact that, and I look at the dog as a big piece of it too, given the fact that it's not carbon monoxide poisoning, and then the dog also lost his life, but 2 other dogs are still alive, that also tells me something too. You see what I'm saying? Either it was locked away and couldn't get out and maybe go, and passed from starvation, or it got curious about what was on the countertop or on the floor next to Betsy, and it ingested that stuff, and then that's how that particular dog passed away. But I feel like that dog is a big piece right there, because again, if the dog was locked in, like just ride with me for a second, because if they say it's a kennel, I've heard a kennel, I've heard a closet in the bathroom, right? If the dog was in the closet and without a kennel, but it was in the bathroom closet, locked in the bathroom closet, and the door was closed, to me, I go, no, that seems like foul play. But that would instantly make me think, well, if there was an intruder, let's just ride on that, on the foul play tip for 2 seconds. If there was an intruder and there was a dog that was super yappy or super really like, you know what I mean, very aggressive, hopping up and down, I could see that perpetrator putting that dog in a closet or closing the door on a dog, blocking them. The other ones are just cool, docile as hell, right? Just love being around people, just love people. Who are you? Kind of thing, right? Then that person, that perpetrator closing the door on that dog, then I can see there being foul play, right? Why would that dog be in a closet in the bathroom? That makes no freaking sense. But if it's in the closet and the door is wide open, but it perishes, then I don't see perpetrator. I don't see foul play. You see what I'm saying? And that's, of course, taking out carbon monoxide poisoning, just throwing that all the way out. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, I still think there was a mental health thing, and there was, or first there was natural causes, and then there was a mental health thing that happened here, and then one of the dogs went with her too, which is unfortunate, you know? But again, we will find out more information when it comes out. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be 110% wrong, or I could be right on the dot. Anything's possible. But more information will come out here as time goes on. We're keeping an eye on it. But I do think it's sad. It's sad. I'm sorry. It's just sad. The outcome. Yeah, family. You're not in touch with them, with your loved one for months. That's heartbreaking. And so I can't urge everyone. I can't urge you guys enough. Keep tabs on your loved ones, okay? Especially the ones that are a bit older, all right? Just keep an eye on them. Simple phone calls. You can keep it short and sweet, but you're just keeping tabs on them, just making sure that they're okay. Don't wait months to have a conversation. Here's the other thing too. I feel like, and now I'm just gonna say it. I feel like it's another thing too with fathers and mothers. Like I feel like a mom will get a phone call 15,000 times a week more than the father. Now I don't know how the divorce happened, right? Because clearly, Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa did not have children of their own. Okay. So we don't know how that divorce happened. If it was a good divorce, if they split, when he split from his first wife, okay, the mother of his children, if they split in an amicable type of way. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it caused a rift between the kids and all that, right? But I know that when it comes to calling the mama, and if the mama's still around, okay, and hopefully she still is, I can see them calling the mom up a lot, right? But then the dad, not so much, right? So I can also see that dynamic. And maybe that was the situation. You call mom all the time. Dad, we call him every once in a while. We keep an eye on him, but he's got his own thing going. He's got the love of his life taking care of him. He's in good hands. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, you got phones. You carry them with you everywhere you go. It takes 2 seconds to go boop, boop, type in, or even just go, hey, Siri, call dad. Oh, shoot. Whoa. Now it's saying, hey, now my phone wanted to call my dad. R.I.P. But you see what I'm saying? Takes 2 seconds to just go blah. Call mama. You know what I mean? And then the phone calling mother. And then the phone rings. You see what I'm saying? So, all I could say is, oh, his first wife has passed. Oh, R.I.P. then. Makes you rest in peace. That's sad to hear. But you see what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it was. And that dynamic does exist. That, if the mother was still alive, that dynamic does exist. Hey, mom, you'd having conversations with her every single time, every day, pretty much. But then when it comes to dad, yeah, give him a call every once in a while. Keep an eye on him. Make sure he's good. But he's got his new, his new wife. He's good. He's fine. He's in good hands. She's taking great care of him. And that's it. Right? So again, I just can't urge people enough to just keep tabs on your loved ones. Okay? And also the ones, and I understand every dynamic, every estrangement in a family happens for various reasons. But if it's something that can be mended, if it's something that can be fixed and worked on, okay, work on it. Because these loved ones are only here for so long. As they even said, he was 95. He's old. You see what I'm saying? And I hate to say it like that, right? I even hate hearing that from anyone. Oh, he was old. And it's like, yeah, I get it. I get it. He was old, but at the same time, 2 seconds of a phone call could light up that person's day for a whole week. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, if it's something that estrangement can be mended and fixed. If it's something minor, if it's something trivial, just work through it. Make the phone calls. Keep in contact with your loved ones because you never know, right? Show them the love and the respect that they deserve, especially the ones, they brought us into the world. They sired us. You know what I'm saying? They brought us into this world. And then they gave us food and clothes on our backs. Most of us, okay, that we're lucky enough to have good parental units, okay? So all I'm saying is show some love. Keep in contact. Don't wait 2 months because it may be 2 months too late. Anyway, guys, so when we get more information, I'll be talking to you guys about it for sure, okay? This is just sad news, and we'll see what happens here, but this should also be a quick reminder to just give them a call. Just give them a call. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It means a lot. If there's more information revolving around this, I'll let you know. Whether it is foul play or not, we're going to find out. Okay? We'll find out. I don't know if it's foul play. I just don't. It's not the vibe I'm getting. But anything's possible. This whole story could flip on its end today, later on today. You never know. So when we get more information, I'll let you guys know. But hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, please hit that follow button. Follow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on my main channel, YouTube. Go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Show me some love by hitting that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Okay? It's a simple ask. Make sure that notification bell on both platforms are set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it's random. All right? Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, guys. So go check it out. All right? And I'll be talking to you guys very, very soon. Have a great rest of your day. Check out my secondary channel because there's going to be some things coming out on the secondary channel here very, very soon. So make sure you're subscribed to that channel, The Pascal Show Clips, okay? Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. I will see you guys very, very soon. And if anything pops off in the next couple hours, I might be back on live again to give you guys that information. So be on the lookout for that as well. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And call your loved one. They'll really appreciate it. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.